Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the first day of filming in 4 days and 5 days. Dude, the whole day I've been fucking up. I've been having a really hard time filming. So I'm not sure if I do this video, but fuck it, let's do it. We only live once. YOLO. Looking for the tattoo of YOLO, there's none of it. Maybe one day, who knows. We're playing Tactical Breakout Chains. Listening to Wet Socks with 90s fiance. But most of all, we're talking about Kickass. So, first of all, what does Kickass mean to me? Kickass was, once again, in a 20 years old period of time, when I didn't have Wi-Fi, didn't have TV, you heard the story, downloading movie was something I used to do, right? Allegedly, of course. And one of those movies was Kickass, and I didn't give a fuck about Kickass. I didn't know who Aaron Taylor was. I was like, fuck it, right? But there was one character in there that I kind of liked a lot. That was McLovin. I was like, holy shit, there's McLovin. But I own Superbad, right? Of course, I own a copy DVD, not downloaded for nefarious purposes. Talking about a superhero movie, right? And okay, I thought those movie that I didn't know anything about it, and I started watching, and I became obsessed with the movie. See, it's weird because Kick-Ass was one of my first. That's weird. I don't know which comedy superhero movie. It's a comedy, but it's more than that. See, I grew up watching Spider-Man. I grew up watching Batman, the trilogy. My hairs are a fucking mess. I apologize for that. But at the same time, see, Spider-Man was bigger than nature. Then we had a character like Batman. But if you look at the period of time, it's not a good superhero movie. Marvel wasn't a thing as you said it is. We had, who else? We had Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, which sadly wasn't great. We had the X-Men, which was really popular. We had the Fantastic Four, which was really popular. But as a single hero, the two most popular were probably Spider-Man and Batman. And I was a guy that... I was more so like a guy that likes to be alone. So like I related more to a person without a team. Right? Makes sense? Makes sense. So Kick-Ass was a movie that I started watching. And, of course, the main actress... in here and there being naked truly helps, but it's funny because at the beginning, the first time I saw the movie, it was good, it was okay, and then I was like, when I stopped watching the movie, I was like, this was really good. I watched it again, and I watched it again, and at the end, I became obsessed with it. See, the character of Kick-Ass was super nice. The character of Kick-Ass saw a city, and it's crazy because Kick-Ass is actually one of the most important movie in my entire life. Not even joking. I wish I was, but it's one of the most important movie in my life. So when you look at it, right? When you look at it, you see Aaron Taylor characters of Kick-Ass, and you see a city filled with corruption, with criminals, right? It's like, who's stopping from being superhero? So he goes in, becomes a superhero, trying to fight crimes. He gets stabbed, he gets destroyed, he gets completely fucked up, right? But because of that, what they do is they install metal plate in his body, and he cannot feel pain anymore. So Kick-Ass is this perfect. See, I was talking about Batman, the trilogy. We're talking about Chris Nolan, and we're talking about Christian Bale. There's a lot of Batman. There's not a lot of Bruce Wayne. But we're talking about Tobey Maguire trilogy of Spider-Man. We see a lot of Spider-Man, but not a lot of Peter Parker. Arguably speaking, we do see a lot of Peter Parker, because if you look at the Andrew Garfield 2 movies, and if you look at the Tom Holland trilogy, Peter Parker was possibly most present with Tobey Maguire. But Tobey Maguire, it felt like a loser. And listen, the thing with Spider-Man is he is a loser. Spider-Man is a loser. He's somebody that's weak, and everybody can step on, everybody hates, everybody bullies Peter Parker, but he's fucking Spider-Man. That's the character, that's the beauty of the character, right? So Kick-Ass was similar to that, but Kick-Ass was also like a single guy that wanted to do a difference, right? And then, how can I forget the I think it's more as the portrayal of Hit Girl with Chloe Moretz or Martinez, I don't remember, and the fucking Bad Dad with freaking Nicolas Cage. So it was surprising how a shitty movie like that had so much of a great, a really great, dude, holy shit, it's crazy. there was such a cast of characters. See, the characters of Kickass is super good because once again, it's a guy that wants to stand up to crime in the city. And of course he gets the girl because that's what he's doing. But even in Kick-Ass, what's funny is the girl, she thinks that he's gay, and that's why he get closer because she thinks that he's gay. And he's so willing to be with her that he's like, okay, if you were thinking I'm gay, I'm gay. That's something that I would have done 100%. If I'm being honest, something possibly I would still do. Just saying, just putting it out there. But the character of Kick-Ass was one of the most relatable. See, with Tobey Maguire, once again, it was too much of a loser for me. With Bruce Wayne, I'm like, okay, well, he's a fucking millionaire. I don't associate with that. With Ryan Reynolds, the guy already, before he became a Green Lantern, he was already like a pilot of a companies. And that was the tree that I really related to, right? So, how can I put this? With Kick-Ass, it was more like, yo, this guy. The craziest thing was, it was an high school student. I was in high school. I really related to him. And the beauty of the movie, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but the beauty of the movie is the evolution, the psychological evolution of Kick-Ass, but also the physical evolution of Kick-Ass. So all the while we're showing the movie, we're seeing Aaron Taylor, which is the main character, which is also Craven. Also Craven. We see him skinny. Until it's not skinny, and he does chin up with one fucking arms, which is a feat, right? Also the characters, there's a lot of funny characters. See, the movie in itself is one teenager that came out and said, hey, you know what, fuck your crimes, right? Now, one of the reasons why this movie is so important to me is there's a shit ton of time where I thought that in real life. You want to know the real reason we watched Kick-Ass last week? Want to know the real reason? The one and only reason, I'm telling you, one and only reason. We saw the video about Luigi Maggione, Ray Wilson that did the video, and I was like, dude, this is Kick-Ass, you know. My Boku no Hero Academia, My Hero Academia, is a student with no power that wants to be the most heroic, kind of like Aaron Taylor, right? Now, the villain in Kick-Ass is the classic villain, but it's classic, but at the same time, it's so different that we don't really see it. So for example, we're gonna go with Spider-Man again. Can I go, please? Can I go with Spider-Man again? Good. Okay. So, what am I not saying? There was also a show called Smallville on VRAC TV. If you don't know what Smallville is, it was for Superman. Okay, Superman's main villain was whom? Lex Luthor. And Smallville, Lex Luthor was a dude saved by Clark Kent. If you look at Spider-Man, right? You look at Eddie Brock, who becomes Venom because Spider-Man is better than him at taking picture, and then he becomes full of rage, and that's why Venom goes to him, you know. And it's amazing because the main character, see, even in Spider-Man, you talk about Harry Osborn, who is Peter Parker's best friend, and because Peter Parker killed his father, he becomes Green Goblin, but at the end he redeemed himself. And the Kick-Ass is the same thing. The main character is like, yo, I'm a hero, and I'm kind of a cool hero. And then there's this villain that comes in and says, you know what? I kind of want to be like a hero too. And then, no, you're not a hero, dude, I'm sorry. But the beauty of Kick-Ass, the extreme beauty, is the whole movie, the whole fucking movie we build up Kick-Ass to be this kind of superhero. It's fucked up, bro, because you represent a sign of peace, and then you realize that the reality is that there's people that are doing a much better job, and even though no matter how hard you try, you're not as strong as us. Nicolas Cage is there's a father and daughter duo that are fucking superhero, they're real superheroes. So this is what you aim for, and it sucks because, ultimately speaking, we have the passing of the torch, which is Nicolas Cage dying in the first one to become Kick-Ass. But the thing is, there's a second movie that I absolutely love, but I wanted more Nicolas Cage. Not because of Nicolas Cage, but because the character was better. You see, Hit Girl, I love the character. I love the fucking character. Okay, let's put it like this. I love her in Kick-Ass 2. I don't really like her in Kick-Ass 1. I'm gonna say it like that. the crew. See, you see Big Daddy, which was the character of Nicolas Cage, saw Aaron as like, yo, you got potential. I could train you. But he also had a daughter, and he was like, no, you're nowhere near us, right? And when he dies, the daughter doesn't have a reason to be with kickass. I had a pimple, you see? I don't know. Feels good. This pimple was there for a couple of days. Also, when was I going there? Where was I going? Okay, the Hit Girl, Aaron Taylor. See, that movie completely haunted me. And then I started becoming obsessed with it. And I saw a video, and that video still felt familiar, right? And that video felt familiar in a sense of where you see Nicolas Cage shoot at Chloe. And because he shoot at Chloe, you're like, holy shit, this is a viral moment. No, it's the trailer, is the marketing behind Kickass. But it was amazing. And then we saw Kickass 2. Now, Kickass 2, ultimately speaking, is also a great movie. The first one was magical, but the second one is fucking phenomenal. So the second one is, in my mind, the proper prologue, the proper sequel to the movie. So in the first one, we have the character of Kickass, who becomes a known hero, and he inspires a lot of people to become hero. But at the end, the villain, and the fact that there's hero, inspires a lot of other villains to become villains. So there's a domino effect. Instead of having a couple of hero and a couple of villains, you have a lot of hero and you have a lot of villains. Now there's a side that is stronger than the others, but you don't know whom, right? So why that's perfect sequel is because he is it's a direct correlation with what happened in the first movie. It's a direct cousin of what's going on. Now another one that's really cool is the character of Chloe, or Hit Girl. So the character, what is really good is she's a classic kid that wasn't allowed to be a kid. She's a classic kid that wasn't allowed to be herself. So we see Chloe discovering herself, discovering who she is. Then you're seeing Aaron, who is part of like a superhero group. The superhero group that comes out, that forms itself with Jim Carrey, that does a wonderful job. And he realized that no, these are all not poser, but they're not really hero. And then it reminds you of, well, technically it's the other way around. It inspires you when you listen to My Hero Academia. Now, what you're saying, dude, stop talking about My Hero Academia. It's a different show. It's not a different show. It's two teenagers that are trying to be hero. So when you realize that My Hero Academia first villain is Stain, and the reason why Stain is the way he is because he said that heroes are not heroes anymore. They're not acting heroic. The reason why you like Deku was because he was heroic. The reason why you like Kickass was because he was heroic, not popular, heroic. You know what I mean? And it sucks. We ate a steak today. It was amazing. See, the second one, it has... Is that the classic sequel trope once again? Which is, there's bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but you introduce a league of villain, you introduce a league of hero, just for them to be completely useless. And at the end of the day, you have a Hit Girl that is super important. You have Aaron James Taylor. You have Red Mist, which is the villain, right? That is super important. But apart from that, you have a ton of small characters. So there's a lot of... The movie in itself is great, but a lot of those characters introduced, a lot of those characters that are super important are somewhat of a red cap. What is a red cap? A red cap is going to be a person in the movie that's wearing a red cap. The movie seems like there's more people in the movie when there's not. So a lot of the heroes are going to be like, holy shit, guess what? Guess what, bro? This is nuts because you introduce a little character, but you're not doing anything with them. So the second movie is also good. The first movie was really not controversial, but really, I'm looking for a word. Chamboulé in French. Wasn't life changing, but it was very ingrained in my mind for a while. And the second one was good, but I feel like I give so much importance to the first one that I didn't get enough to the second one. See, I did the same thing with fucking Hangover. Hangover 1 was phenomenal, right? The second one wasn't as good. And then you realize that a sequel like that, the only way it could work is a movie like Harry Potter. This the only way it could work is a movie like Lord of the Rings, you know. But at the same time, they're a really good movie, and I've watched them last week, and I haven't watched them in years, and I can tell you right away that they do hold up. They do hold up, and you're seeing this small kid that's becoming craven, and like, holy shit, my boy went along, and it's just a phenomenal movie. So anyway, on that note, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.